Ever wondered what makes your favorite cotton kurta feel so perfectly crisp? Or how your denim jeans just seem to hold their shape wash after wash? Well, the journey from a simple, raw piece of cloth to the clothes you wear every day is filled with some pretty amazing secrets. So let's pull back the curtain and unravel this whole transformation together. So, on the one hand, you've got raw fabric. In the textile world, they often call it garage goods. And, it's pretty unremarkable, kind of dull, a bit rough to the touch, and super unstable. It'll shrink or stretch on you in a heartbeat. But then, on the other hand, look at the finished product. It's lustrous, it's soft, and it's stable. I mean, the difference is just night and day, right? So, what is this magic that happens in between? Well, spoiler alert, it's not actually magic. It's an absolutely crucial industrial step called textile finishing. And this is where a simple piece of fabric really gets its personality and all of its performance features. Okay, so we're going to break this down into two main parts. First up, we're diving into the physical transformation. This is all about how things like force, heat, and pressure can completely change the character of a fabric. So right here, this kind of lays out the two big paths we're talking about. You've got mechanical finishes, which use physical force. We're talking pressure and heat to change the texture and shape. You can think of it like physically sculpting the fabric. Then you have chemical finishes, which we'll get to in a bit. That's all about applying specific chemicals to give the fabric brand new properties and functions. Oh man, we've all been there, haven't we? You have that perfect cotton kurta, you throw it in the wash one time, and boom, suddenly it's a size too small. It's a classic problem, and it's one that a very specific mechanical finish was invented to solve. And the answer to our shrinking kurta nightmare is called sanforizing. It's a really brilliant mechanical process that basically pre-shrinks the fabric for you, but in a totally controlled way. The fabric gets compressed between rollers, and that locks the fibers into place so they won't decide to shrink on you later. So what this all means is, thanks to sanforizing, your clothes actually stay the size and fit they're supposed to be. It gives the fabric what we call dimensional stability, and it's absolutely crucial for stuff like denim jeans and most of the cotton clothes we wear. So now you know what that little sanforize tag on your jeans really means. Okay, let's switch gears from shape to texture. What about that really nice, smooth, almost polished finish you see on high-quality cotton kurtas? How do they get that crisp, slightly shiny look? Well, the secret here is a process called calendaring. And honestly, the best way to picture it is as a giant industrial-scale ironing press. The fabric is fed between these huge, heavy, heated rollers that just flatten the yarns right out. It's a simple idea, but it's what creates that beautifully smooth and lustrous surface. Okay, but what if you want the exact opposite of that? Instead of smooth and shiny, what if you want something to be super soft, fuzzy, and warm? Perfect for a cozy winter shawl or a flannel curtie. That's where a process called brushing comes in. The fabric gets passed over these big, rotating cylinders that are covered in tiny wire bristles. These bristles gently pull and tease the fibers out from the surface of the fabric. This creates a soft, fuzzy texture that we call a nap. And that nap is amazing because it traps a layer of air which acts as insulation and keeps you warm. Okay, so we've seen how you can basically wrestle a fabric into shape with physical force. But what if you could give it actual superpowers? I'm not kidding. This is where the science really gets cool. Welcome to the world of chemical upgrades. Just picture this for a second. You're out and about, and suddenly the monsoon hits. But instead of getting soaked, the water just beads up and rolls right off your jacket, leaving you totally dry underneath. Now, that's not magic. That's a chemical finish at work. This is what's known as a water-repellent finish. It's a chemical coating they apply that makes water droplets behave like they do on a lotus leaf. They just bead up and roll right off. And this is where it gets really clever, because unlike, say, a plastic sheet, a fabric with this finish can still breathe, and that is absolutely key for staying comfortable. So you really get the best of both worlds, right? You get protection from the rain, but you don't get that stuffy, sweaty feeling. It's the go-to technology for most modern rainwear, outdoor gear, and even those really high-quality umbrellas. Okay, here's another one I'm sure we've all dealt with. You need a formal shirt, you pull it out of the closet, and it's just a complete mess of wrinkles. But what if you could pretty much skip the ironing altogether? That's exactly where a wrinkle-resistant finish comes in. What's happening here is pretty amazing, actually. It's a chemical treatment that creates these tiny little bonds, or crosslinks, between the fabric's molecules. Think of them like microscopic springs that help the material bounce back to its original smooth shape and fight off those creases. But wait, there's more. Water repellency and wrinkle resistance are really just the tip of the iceberg. The world of chemical finishes is huge, and it can give our clothes an incredible range of new functions. Let's just look at a couple more quick examples. For instance, you've got antimicrobial finishes. These are designed to stop the growth of bacteria that cause odors, and that makes them an absolute game changer for things like sportswear, socks, and of course, medical textiles, where hygiene is everything. And then there's the really serious stuff, the critical safety finishes, like flame retardants. These treatments can literally save lives by reducing how flammable a fabric is and slowing down the spread of fire. They're essential for things like protective gear for firefighters and for making our homes and public spaces safer. So after going through all of that, you're never going to look at your closet the same way again, are you? We can now actually start to deconstruct our own wardrobe and really understand the hidden technology we're wearing every single day. So if you're going to take away just a few key things from all this, here's the rundown. 1. Mechanical finishes are all about changing the feel, making a fabric softer or smoother. 2. Chemical finishes are all about adding a new function, like making it repel water or resist wrinkles. 3. Finishing is that invisible but totally vital step that really gives our clothes their character and performance. And 4. Start checking your clothing labels. You'll see clues like sanforized or wrinkle-free hiding in plain sight. And that brings me to a final question for you. Next time you get dressed, just take a second. Look at what you're putting on, feel the fabric. Is it soft? Is it smooth? Does it keep you dry? And then ask yourself, what hidden technology am I wearing today?